W. Ross wrote under the pen name E.R., was a Canadian poet and geophysicist. He was born in Peterborough and raised in Pembroke. Later he moved to the University of Toronto, where he earned his degree in geophysics. He initially published in literary magazines like The Dial and Poetry in 1928. His major poetic collections are laconics and sonnets. His work, Shapes and Sounds, was published posthumously. His works were influenced by Japanese poetry, Canadian life, and the poetic movement of Imagism. Through his poetry, Ross explored Imagist themes of experimentation, free verse, and concise portrayal of modern world. The Snake Drawing, in few short lines, describes a snake fleeing from its attacker. By focusing on the snake's admirable qualities, Ross, contrary to popular perception, portrays the snake as a victim. Let's see what happens in The Snake Drawing by W. Ross. In the poem, the snake is a victim rather than a fearsome creature. It is trying to escape from a man chasing it with a stick. The poet uses strong descriptive words to admire the curving movement of the snake as well as his beautiful and graceful shape. The poet implores the stick, and by extension the man holding it, to let the snake go. The snake, he says, is small and green. He is also harmless to children. The snake, he then says, was lying innocently on the sand before he was discovered. He was then chased relentlessly before vanishing into the green marsh plants with thick stems. The poet uses positive words to portray the snake as innocent. In contrast, he portrays his attacker as the predator. By doing this, he hopes to open his audience's mind and change the popular view of a snake as terrifying to a creature that is innocent and harmless. Let's look at the literary elements of the poem. Assonance is a device where similar-sounding vowels are placed closely together in a sentence. In the poem, phrases like long body, over the water, even to children, vanishes in the ripples, and green slim reeds are examples of assonance. Through this device, the poet is portraying a harmless picture of the snake. In the poem, the poet has personified the shape of the snake. The poet has also given the snake human qualities of beauty and grace. In the poem, the poet has used images like pursuing stick, sudden curvings of thin long boy, beautiful and graceful, vanishes in the ripples and green slim reeds to create a concise visualization of the snake, his attacker, and the surroundings. The poet has used the device of transferred epithet in the phrase pursuing stick. The poet does not mean that the stick is chasing the snake. Rather, he means that the man is pursuing the snake with a stick. So, through the positive portrayal of generally feared snakes, Ross hopes to change our minds about them.